Hello, I'm out here in Batesburg, Saluda, South Carolina. It's a beautiful May day, and I grew up not that far from here, maybe 40 minutes away in the little community of Irmo, right outside of Columbia. And about 6 months ago, I was reading, and I saw this reference to a sleeping preacher, and I said, that is really bizarre. Looked it up and realized didn't live that far from where I grew up. So I'm out here and back in the States for a little bit. So I thought I would come out, and I researched this guy. Major Perry was born into slavery in 1831. And he's going to die in 1925. But when he's 49 years old, he's going to start talking in his sleep, and really he's more preaching in his sleep, which is a little bit bizarre, and becomes really he senses the call of God on his life. Now, I don't know what to make of this. The gospel does come in many ways, strange ways, and God can use all types of things. And so, anyway, he goes all over the place. He's in different states and all over different parts of South Carolina. I read one report where he's in Walla Halla in a school, and there's the communities come out to hear him. And he would fall asleep on stage, have a bed, go to sleep. He'd wake up, begin to sing, have a little devotional maybe, and then he would go into a full-length sermon, maybe 40, 45 minutes, preach. And they said he was absolutely incredible. He wasn't a man of letters. It said he'd never learned to read or write, couldn't spell his name. It's what one article said. And yet here he is preaching very powerfully. And it really was phenomenal, people said. So here's his grave right here, Major Perry, 1831 to 1925. And it says here, began preaching in 1880 in sleep. He preached every night until death. There you go. That's what the testimony is. And so another interesting fact is that there's actually tradition of sleeping preachers that goes way back till not too far after the Reformation, where in France, among the Huguenots, I think it's King Louis begins to kick a bunch of the Huguenots out of a certain region. And there's these children that begin to have these encounters. They call them the French prophets, where they are at night waking up, prophesying, preaching. And that tradition goes into Germany as they were scattered into, further north into Europe. And somehow it becomes a little bit of a repeating occurrence, especially in Finland, certain places. And then it comes over to America. Now, they're called the Inspirationalists, this particular movement. Now, somehow, I'm not sure, it overlaps into the Mennonite Amish communities. I think there were more overlapping among these groups than we realize many times. So it overlaps into them. And in America, there's a couple of Amish, Mennonite Amish preachers that are waking up in the 1850s, around there, preaching. And there's actually a movement, a particular stream of the Amish Mennonites that are around today that claim their birth to of course, back to the early Reformation period, but more recently to one of the particular preachers that wake up and preach during the night. So kind of bizarre, kind of crazy, but I thought I would just make a little video on it and, let the gospel go out in many ways, many forms. And anyway, I trust this was an interesting little video for you. Thanks so much.